Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today EA had their EA Play that's going on today and tomorrow in California, and they had their Madden 20 information session there, and that was also streamed on Twitch. So I have some news and screenshots that they had from that event. These were all pulled from their Twitch stream, so I will link that in the description if you want to see the full form thing. But here, I'll get right into it. First here, we have a screenshot from the face of the franchise, your created quarterback. And this is in the green room as you are waiting to be drafted. As you can see, your player sitting there with whatever college helmet you have from the college that you choose, and a half-eaten cheeseburger. So moving on to the next screenshot. This is a dialogue interaction, the scenario engine that they went over. So this was Cliff Kingsbury speaking to Kyler Murray in a text dialogue. Here he's basically asking Kyler to speak up and challenge his teammates because the message will be better coming from the franchise quarterback. So as you can see, you have four options. You can either take accountability yourself, or choose to call out either your receiving core, your running back core, or the offensive line. Now, moving on here, we have a screenshot of one of the new formations in the game. This is single back, doubles, off close. This is in the Raiders playbook. They just showcased this as one of the new formations that they have in the game. And the play that they ran and they showed was this PA fly sweep, where you get some misdirection going to the right, and then you can either hit a receiver going right, or you have a backside slant or comeback route or a flat route as well. So moving on to this next screenshot, this is the Madden Ultimate Team missions. So the missions, as you can see here, in this screenshot, this is the Welcome to Mutt mission, and it looks like you can get I would guess, a non-auctionable tradable Juju Smith-Schuster from playing a solo challenge, or an ultimate challenge, I should say now, right when you come in. And you can see as well, there's two other missions. You should check out the store, as well as build your offensive core. I'm guessing that build your offensive core is because you denoted. They probably ask you if you want to focus on offense or defense right away. So if you denote defense, it might say build your defensive core. But these missions aren't. There are ways to get rewards, or it's telling you how you can get the reward. So again, the reward is through the Ultimate Challenge to get the Juju Smith-Schuster card. It's not by the mission. The mission is just telling you what to do. So from my understanding, it's not like an objective list where you complete an objective and you get a reward. The mission's just telling you where in Ultimate Team you can get that reward, sort of to help the newer players to the game. Now moving on to this next screenshot, we have the X Factor and Superstar abilities for Alvin Kamara. So you can see here his satellite ability. This is his X Factor ability. Some running backs have the talent to be elite receivers. When they enter the zone, this ability increases their success rate on possession and run after the catches against single coverage. So to do this, to achieve this X Factor ability, you have to make a certain number of 10-plus yard receptions, and you have to do that without missing catches. I think if you would drop a pass and you were and you had the X Factor ability, that would be eliminated, and you'd have to redo the objectives. And then we have the two Superstar abilities connected to Alvin Kamara. Matchup Nightmare. Receivers with this ability make sharper cuts and frequently win contested catches when covered by linebackers and linemen. And then Running Back Apprentice. When lined up at running back, players with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes during pre-play adjustments. As we can see here, this is a screenshot of Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara pre-play. As you can see, their X factors are lit up, sort of orange color. That means it's activated. If it's not activated, it will not be lit up. And then once you get knocked out, if you do, then that X factor will not be shown as orange. I think it's just gray normally. It is the X. It does show the X, but it doesn't. It isn't lit up and it's not as visible, but you can still see it. And then once you get knocked out, you'll have to redo those objectives, those 10+ yard catches for Alvin Kamara in order to get back into the zone. Now here we have Juju Smith-Schuster's X Factor abilities and superstar abilities. So his superstar ability is Double Me. Aggressive receivers overpower defenders and attack the football. When they enter the zone, this ability increases their success rate on aggressive catches against single coverage. So they denoted during the stream that when he activates this Double Me X Factor ability, as you can see, you have to make a certain number of 30+ yard receptions, and you can't miss any catches. In order to stop him then, or to have a better chance at stopping him, you're going to have to double cover him, which will leave others to be single covered. So we'll see what will happen when you essentially have an entire receiving core that can get Double Me. We'll see what that happens. Obviously, it's a select X Factor ability, but I'm sure multiple receivers like Julio Jones and receivers like that will have this ability as well. And then his two superstar abilities, Slot-O-Matic. When lined up in the slot, receivers with this ability make faster cuts, have better hands, and have a higher chance of beating press coverage. And then Cross Specialist. Receivers with this ability run sharper routes and catch more consistently while running cross routes. So this is a screenshot they showed of when Juju Smith-Schuster had the Double Me X Factor ability activated. And as you can see, he is aggressive catching over the defender in single coverage. So if you want to stop this, you're going to have to double cover him to lower that % chance of the reception occurring. So again, there is this X Factor that, you look back to Madden 16 aggressive catching. However, in Madden 16, there wasn't really a stop to it. But the corners, if they activate an X Factor ability, that would essentially, it could make them an elite one-on-one defender, which could sort of nullify the effectiveness of the Double Me X Factor ability for receivers like Juju Smith-Schuster. Now moving to this screenshot, we have Patrick Mahomes' X Factor and some of his superstar abilities. So as you can see, Bazooka is his X Factor ability. He's the only one in the game with Bazooka. Quarterbacks with generational arms have the power to stretch any defense to its breaking point. When they enter the zone, their maximum throw distance is increased by 15+ yards. So they said Patrick Mahomes could throw 80 yards, which means I would guess then that his maximum throw distance without Bazooka is around 65 yards. In order to do this and get it activated, you have to complete 30+ yard air passes. And they said during the stream that you have to complete 4 of these, and it is in the air. So the ball has to travel 30 yards in the air. You can't get like a 10-yard pass and then have the receiver run after catch for 25 yards and have that count. It does have to be in the air. And then to knock him out of this and force him to redo these objectives to get Bazooka, you just got to sack him. And then 3 of his, there's 4, there's another screenshot that shows the 4th superstar ability. So the first 3 are Escape Artist. Passers with this ability are faster and more responsive to user input while scrambling behind the line of scrimmage. Dashing Deadeye. Passers with this ability have perfect accuracy on all throws while running outside the pocket, except for the high and low point throws. And Red Zone Deadeye. Passers with this ability have perfect accuracy on all unpressured throws inside the red zone, again, except on those high and low throws. And then lastly, he does have No-Look Deadeye. He is, again, the only one in the game with this No-Look Deadeye. It is specific to his player archetype and how he plays. So passers with this ability have perfect accuracy on all crossbody throws, again, except on the high and low throws. So moving on to the next screenshot, we have Aaron Donald, X Factor and Superstar ability. So his X Factor ability is Fearmonger. Some pass rushers intimidate quarterbacks with their sheer pressure. When they enter the zone, they can apply significant pressure on quarterbacks even while engaged with blockers. So as you can see here, in order to do that, you need to make sacks or pressure the quarterback. And in order to nullify, don't allow passing yards. Now, they didn't go specifically into how you can knock Aaron Donald out of his X Factor ability, out of the zone. But I'd assume it's a certain number of passing yards. Like, once they accumulate 50 passing yards, you're out. I'm sure it's not they complete a 5-yard slant and you're out. But his two superstar abilities are Pass Rush Elite. Defenders with this ability use faster pass rush moves for a better chance at shedding blocks. And Under Pressure, defenders with this ability can apply pressure to the quarterback from a greater distance. So now we have a screenshot showing Aaron Donald engaged in a block. Now this is the type of pressure that would still count towards Aaron Donald getting his X Factor ability and forcing the quarterback to make an errant throw. They showed the full play. Russell Wilson made a throw. It was errant towards the sideline, probably 5 yards over the receiver's head. So even getting this close to the quarterback while still engaged in a block can still trigger the X Factor goals and also disrupt the quarterback. Now again, the quarterback can have X Factor and Superstar abilities of their own that can negate this, so this isn't going to work. This pressure may not work on every quarterback, but it did on Russell Wilson when they showed it. So now moving on, signature animations they talked about. So I have 3 screenshots here just showing sort of some of Drew Brees' mannerisms that they had, that he tends to have on the field. So as you can see here, he's got his hand to his face mask. The second one here, he's sort of tugging on his shoulder pads like he does. And this third one here, he's got his hands together like he tends to do in real life in the NFL. And then lastly, screenshot for signature animations is Ezekiel Elliott's famous Feed Me one. And they also showed ones for Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes that were post-throwing on the run, sort of just their mannerisms. Sort of Aaron Rodgers just, taking a few jog steps. And Patrick Mahomes, they had one where he was throwing to the right crossbody and then was sort of backpedaling. Really just to bring life to these players and make them seem more like their real-life counterparts. So now we have this screenshot. This showed... So this year, they didn't say the specific button during the stream that you'd have to trigger to get this to happen. They just said a button mechanic, but I'm sure they'll get into specifics later. But you can press a button and your quarterback will turn into a ball carrier and a runner behind the line of scrimmage, and he will have access to all ball carrier moves, spin moves, juke moves, and all that behind the line of scrimmage. And then if a defender comes up, you can press that button again and the receiver icons will come back and you can throw the ball then too. So obviously this was a response to player feedback that quarterbacks, especially fast quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, Kyler Murray, weren't effective runners behind the line of scrimmage and were getting caught by defensive linemen and linebackers often. When they were being chased and they were being sacked. So hopefully this will provide a new dimension to mobile quarterbacks. Now this screenshot is Ben Roethlisberger doing the new pump fake mechanic. So you double press, so if you're throwing to A and you press it twice, it'll pump fake. And then, here you see why you could throw it right there right away for that first down. They said not only could you do this to pump fake initially on a double route, on a double move route, but if you see that you're going to make a throw, say you're going to throw to A, but also at the last second you realize that was probably a bad decision, and that pass might get intercepted or knocked down, you can quickly press the button again, and that will negate the throw and initiate the pump fake mechanic, and then you will be able to read the field as the play progresses and make another decision. So this screenshot is one of a few from the Philly special that is added to the game, one of the new plays. As you can see here, Carson Wentz is lined up right next to the tackle, and Jordan Howard's in the backfield about to take the snap pre-play. And here is, I believe, Alshon Jeffrey was the one who ended up getting the reverse, and he is throwing it to Carson Wentz, who is wide open, who catches it for a touchdown. So they just showcased this to show the Philly special. I'd have to look into more depth as the exact defense that was being played, but Carson Wentz is wide open here, so I hope this isn't a play that people run consistently as part of their offense. It should be more, every few games I might run it to catch an opponent off guard, but it seemed to work very well in the play that they showed. So this is a screenshot of a touch. So you have the receiver coming, and it's one of those, instead of handing the ball off on a reverse, Mahomes just sort of lofts it in front of the receiver or the running back, and he gets it. Sort of one of those touch reverse passes that you see in the NFL now, where the quarterback just drops the ball right in front of the receiver or back rather than handing it off to them. So the receiver or back is able to maintain full speed while catching the ball, rather than that sort of like split-second slowdown they have to do to make sure they get the ball from the quarterback on a direct exchange without fumbling. So that seemed like a cool thing, again, mimicking real-life football that we see in the NFL every Sunday. So now, lastly, moving on to the RPOs. Here we have RPO alert from the Eagles playbook. So RPO alert is a situation where it's a designed run right away. So if you do nothing, you just snap the ball and press nothing, it will be a handoff to the running back. However, if you read the entire defense and you decide that run would probably be stopped behind the line of scrimmage or for a minimal gain, you can press the receiver icon and it will initiate a pass and you will throw it to the receiver. These are usually very short throws, as you see here. The three examples here are all, bubble screens, quick screen concepts. Here, the Chiefs playbook has some of the RPO peak plays. Now, the peak is you'll be reading a specific defender, and if he stays home on contain, you can hand the ball off. If he stays home on contain, you want to hand the ball off. But if he crashes towards the running back, you can pull out and make a throw downfield. Again, most of these are quick throws, but they do also have options for longer throws. I'm not entirely sure on how the hot route situation is for these, if you'll be able to hot route. So instead of a slant, if you want a slant and go, if they have that, or just a streak or an out, I don't know all that. Now, they didn't talk about that, but these are some of the concepts that you'll see. This one in the Chiefs playbook. And then just another example of a playbook that had the RPO alert. This was the Arizona Cardinals playbook with Cliff Kingsbury and his air raid system. And the last one that they just talked about, they didn't show any screenshots or footage of, was the RPO read. And on the RPO read, that's just, you'll either be reading 2 or 3 defenders. So based on what you read, what the defense gives, you can either hand the ball off, keep it with the quarterback, or throw. And again, that's all depending on what the defense is. So you'll be keying on 2 to 3 defenders, depending on if it's a 2-read play, where you're just reading while you either hand the ball off with the running back or throw the ball, or more of a 3-read play, sort of a triple option type, but you'll have the option to throw it this year, where you'll read the defender if you'll hand the ball off to the running back, if you'll keep it with the quarterback, or if you'll throw the ball downfield. So that is it from what they talked about. They did at the end mention that it is a closed beta from June 14th to the 16th, and next week they'll be giving out codes online for that. So it is a closed, not an open beta, for 3 days from June 14th through the 16th next week. So they did announce that at the end. So that is all I have. That is what they showed at EA Play. Some new news, some screenshots that we've been looking forward to. Again, I'll put the Twitch stream link in the description if you want to see some of the gameplay footage that they showed. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.